Hello, in this video I will explain you how to export 3D geometry from Fusion 360 to COMSOL Multiphysics package. So, what you can see over here is a CAD model of a mirror used in GMT telescopes. So, this is a geometry that's modeled using Fusion 360, and my goal is to export this geometry to COMSOL Multiphysics package. So first I'm going to open a new COMSOL Multiphysics file. I click on Model Wizard, click on 3D, and I will click on Heat Transfer in Solid since I'll be interested in modeling 3-dimensional thermoelastic deformations of such a mirror due to the absorbed heat. So I click on Add, I click on Study, and I'm going to click on Time-Dependent Study, and I click on Done. This is my basic screen. Now, under the option Geometry, if you click on right-click, there is basically an option to import geometry. By clicking on this, you will have an option to import the 3D geometry. Now, you can see here that you can select type of the files you want to import. So there is an option to import 3D CAD file, and you can, by browsing, you can basically see you can select the file and you can import this file into COMSOL Multiphysics. The main problem I've been facing is that COMSOL Multiphysics is not able to recognize DWH and DX file properly, as you will see it over here. Now, one of the first ideas for exporting the files from Fusion 360 to COMSOL is to click on File and to click on Export, and then you can export these files, for example, in the form of, let's say, DWG file. So if I click on DWG file, then I can put a file name of like export 3, and I click on Save, and I click on Export. It's going to take a while for COMSOL, actually for Fusion 360, to export this file. Now, after this Fusion 360 file is saved as export 3DWG, I can try to import this file from COMSOL. So I can go into COMSOL menu, I click on Browse, and here is the file, and I click on Open. And I can click on Build Selected. And after some time, you will obtain the following result. So this is what I get. Here is my original file. This is the original file. However, you have artifacts here. You have several artifacts, which are probably due to the fact that Fusion 360 also saved the previous steps that were used to basically to obtain this geometry. You can see the honeycomb structure, you can see a few extrusion actions and unions and intersections I've done to get this file. Now, that's not a big issue, so you can, because you can try it and you can delete, you can try to delete these files. You can delete these artifacts. However, the main issue that you will be facing that is that COMSOL Multiphysics is not able to properly recognize the boundaries of the files. So the regions will not be properly marked by, or recognized surfaces will not be properly recognized by COMSOL Multiphysics. So maybe you will not experience the same problem to the one that I previously described in your application. That's probably possible. Basically, maybe you use a different method to define the geometry. However, you might experience this problem. So in this case, I found a better option for exporting the geometry from Fusion 360. So the idea is to save the file as SAT file. So if you repeat the procedure, you have an option to save the file as a SAT file. So I'm going to call it export4.sat, and I'm going to replace the file and I'm going to click on export. And it's going to take maybe just a few seconds to export the file. Now, in COMSOL Multiphysics, you can basically repeat the step. You can import the geometry, you can browse the geometry, and then you can select the source file, and you click on open, and you click on build select. And this is the result. So there are no artifacts, and COMSOL is able to correctly recognize all the boundary surfaces and all the domains, which is very important for defining boundary conditions, for meshing the object, for defining boundary loads, etc. Okay, this would be all. Thank you very much for your attention.